review for our test that will be on Tuesday. So please make sure you are on page 225 in your book. Remember, for our review, the left side just reminds us of an example, and then the right side is where we will write our answers. So Monica has 24 chairs to arrange equally in 3 rows. So I'm going to underline 24 chairs. I know that's my total. She's going to put them in 3 rows. You can use an array to find the number of chairs in each row, so they chose to use an array. This array shows the relationship between multiplication and division. 3 rows of 8, 3 times 8 is 24, or 24 in 3 equal rows, 24 divided by 3 equals 8. And then down here it reminds us about our fact families. So numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4, we're going to write our fact families. So I want you to pause the video and write the fact families for 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then play the video again to see the answers. So you can check your answers now. So for 3 times 7 is 21, we would add 7 times 3 is 21. 21 divided by 3 equals 7. 21 divided by 7 equals 3. 5 times 3 equals 15. 3 times 5 equals 15. 15 divided by 3 equals 5. 15 divided by 5 equals 3. 8 times 6 equals 48. We'd add 6 times 8 equals 48. 48 divided by 8 equals 6. And 48 divided by 6 equals 8. The fourth one, 4 times 5 equals 20. 5 times 4 equals 20. 20 divided by 5 equals 4. And 20 divided by 4 equals 5. Let's look at set B. We can use multiplication to solve division problems. Our example, Hector has 24 oranges. He puts 4 oranges in each basket. How many baskets does Hector need for all his oranges? So they thought about 24 divided by 4. They knew 6 times 4 is 24, so they knew he needed 6 baskets. Number 1 we'll do together. We want to write the multiplication fact and division fact, and then to solve the problem. So Sally has 32 flowers. I'm going to underline that because I know that's my total. She puts 8 flowers in each vase. How many vases does Sally need? So I know I have 32 flowers divided by 8 in each vase. So I think about 8 times what is 32? 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 4 is 32. So I know 4, and I'm going to go back and look. How many vases does Sally need? So I know my label will be vases. Let's look at number 2. John has 18 peaches. He uses 3 peaches to make each tart. How many peach tarts does John make if he uses all the peaches? We do 18 divided by 3 equals, 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 6 is 18. I'm going to go back in my problem to find my label. How many peach tarts does John make? So we would say 6 peach tarts or 6 tarts. Let's go to our next page. We have some more practice with word problems with multiplication and division. So Brent is putting 42 books on a shelf. He put 6 books on each shelf. So they thought about 42 divided by 6. They knew 7 times 6 is 42, so 42 divided by 6 is 7. How many shelves would Brent need if he put 7 books on each shelf? Instead of 6, we would just flip it around. 42 divided by 7 equals 6, so I know 6 times 7 is 42, so Brent would need 6 shelves instead. I want you to try numbers 1, 2, and 3, and then play the video again when you're ready to check. So number 1, there were 36 runners entered in a marathon. They run in groups of 6, so I knew I was going to do 36 divided by 6 to get 6 groups. Lainey has 35 bird stickers. There are 5 stickers on each sheet, so I'm going to do 35 divided by 5 to get 7 sheets. And number 13, I will do 18 divided by 6 to get 3 boats per friend. Let's look at D. We're going to practice finding the related multiplication fact when there's a division fact. So our example, Lou made 9 bracelets. He used 72 beads. He used the same number of beads for each bracelet. How many beads did Lou use? So they decided to use a bar diagram. They put their total, 72, at the top. And then they did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 boxes because he's making 9 bracelets. So we're thinking 72 divided by 9 equals what? We know 9 times 8 is 72. So Lou used 8 beads for each bracelet. Number 1, 54 divided by 9. So the multiplication fact I'm thinking about, 9 times what equals 54? I know 9 times 6 is 54, so 54 divided by 9 is 6. 64 divided by 8, I can think 8 times what is 64? I know 8 times 8 is 64, so 64 divided by 8 is 8. 36 divided by 9. 9 times what is 36? 9 times 4 is 36, so 36 divided by 9 is 4. Number 4, 56 divided by 8. I can think 8 times what is 56? I know 8 times 7 is 56, so 56 divided by 8 would be 7. 72 divided by 8. I can think 8 times what is 72? I know 8 times 9 is 72, so I would do 72 divided by 8 equals 9. Our next part is set E. We're thinking about even and odd numbers. Remember, even, it can be divided by 2 with none left over. A number is odd if it cannot be divided by 2 with none left over. So which product is even, which product is odd? So we know an odd times an odd equals odd. Odd times even equals even. All even numbers can be thought of as 2 equal groups. When at least one factor is even, the product is even. So as long as there is at least one even factor, the answer will be even. Remember that you can think about dividing by 2 to tell whether a number is odd or even. So for number 1, we want to circle the factors that can be divided by 2. So I know 6 can be divided by 2 and 4 can be divided by 2. So I know the product will be even. Number 2, 9 cannot be divided by 2. 1 cannot be divided by 2. So I know my product will be odd. Number 3, I know 8 can be divided by 2, but 7 cannot. So I remember my rule over here, when at least one factor is even, the product is even. So I know 8 is even, so I know my answer or my product will be even. Set F, 5 divided by 1, find 5 groups of 1. Think about 5 times 1 is 5, so 5 divided by 1 is 5. 0 divided by 8, we know 8 times 0 is 0, so 0 divided by 8 is 0. Remember that any number divided by 1 is itself. Any number except 0 divided by itself is 0. 0 divided by any number except 0 is 0. 0 divided by 6, we'd have 0. 10 divided by 10 is 1. Leroy had 4 oranges. He gave 1 orange to each of his 4 friends. How many oranges did each friend get? Think about 4, dividing it into his 4 friends, and we know they'll each get 1 orange because any number divided by itself is 1. Set G, how many groups of 4 are in 24? They used a bar diagram. They're thinking 24, something times 4 equals 24. I know 6 times 4 is 24, so there are 6 groups of 4 in 24. Remember that you can use bar diagrams or multiplication facts to help solve a division problem. So 21 divided by 7. I know 7 times 3 is 21, so I know 21 divided by 7 will be 3. 5 times something is 45. I know 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 2 is 10, 5 times 3 is 15, 5 times 4 is 20, 5 times 5 is 25, 5 times 6 is 30, 5 times 7 is 35, 5 times 8 is 40, and 5 times 9 is 45. So that tells me that 45 divided by 5 is 9. I believe this is our last page. On set H, we're thinking about using that question mark to stand for an unknown number. Remember that you can use multiplication and division facts to find the value of an unknown. So something divided by 2 equals 6. I can think about 2 times 6 equals something. I know 2 times 6 is 12, so I know my question mark will be 12. 7 times something is 42. I know 7 times 1 is 7, 7 times 2 is 14, 7 times 3 is 21, 7 times 4 is 28, 7 times 5 is 35, 7 times 6 is 42, so I know my question mark equals 6, or my unknown equals 6. 20 equals 4 times something. 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 3 is 12, 4 times 4 is 16, 4 times 5 is 20. 9 equals something divided by 3. So we want to think the opposite. If we're doing division, we want to think about multiplication. So 3 times 9 equals 27. So my question mark will be 27. 16 divided by what is 2? I can think about 16 divided by 2 is 8. So I know 16 divided by 8 will be 2 because of our fact family. So our question mark will be that 8. 24 divided by what is 6? I can think 6 times what equals 24. I know 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 3 is 18, and 6 times 4 is 24. So I know my question mark will be 4. So remember, when you see this question mark, that just means the number you're solving for. And then set I is a word problem. We're just thinking through. We want to use information in each step to solve the problem. So 14 friends went to the county fair. I'm going to underline 14 friends. All except 6 of them bought a hot dog. Each hot dog cost $3. How much did the friends spend on hot dogs? So we know there are 14 friends. But they don't tell us right away how many friends actually buy the hot dogs. They tell us all of them except 6. So I need to think about what is 14 minus 6, because 6 of them did not do it. I know 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. So I know 8 friends are actually buying the hot dogs. Now we can think about how much the friends spent on the hot dogs. So we have to think about our first problem before we solve the final problem. So we know 8 friends are buying $3 hot dogs. So I'm going to multiply 8 times $3. One person would be $8. 2 people would be 16. 3 people would be $24. So it's been $24 on hot dogs. And I'm going to go back to my problem to make sure I answered the question. How much did the friends spend on hot dogs? $24. Awesome. So that is the end of our review for today. You can send me a picture showing that you have completed the work along with me, and then you'll get the test sent out tomorrow on Seesaw.